What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Pokemon Sword and Shield video. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to breed for the best Pokemon you can. Now obviously the game has been out for a while, so you might be wondering why I've waited so long to make a video like this, and that is because I've never done breeding before in Pokemon. I've never done any of the competitive stuff, so I never felt the need to learn how to breed Pokemon. But this game I've gotten into competitive, and I've been doing a lot of competitive breeding, and I didn't want to make a video before I understood how to breed Pokemon the most effectively. But now that I know, I want to make a video covering it. So basically, I'm going to be going through a bunch of information telling you the best ways to breed Pokemon effectively in Pokemon Sword and Shield. And the first item that I recommend you get is the Oval Charm, and what the Oval Charm does is cause eggs to spawn more frequently when leaving two Pokemon at the daycare. So you're going to come to the hotel on the left in, I can't even remember the city's name, Circhester. And you're going to come down to the second room on the left. Oh, first room. Lied. This room, if you are interested in doing shiny breeding, this is where you'll get the shiny charm after you complete the dex. However, this video is not about shiny hunting. This video is about just breeding. I have a full guide already on Masuda Method shiny hunting, so if you guys are interested in learning how to do that, I will leave a link at the end of this video to that one. So it's the first room on the left for the Oval Charm, and you will come over and talk to this cop. You'll battle the cop, and after defeating him, he will give you the Oval Charm. Alright, so next I recommend heading to Wyndon to the Battle Tower. And the reason I recommend coming here is because you can get the IV checker here. You might have seen the IV checker if you've watched any streams or anything, where people can go into their inventory and you see the best stats. Each Pokemon has 6 stats that it has IVs for. These can be passed down to offspring, so the IV checker is really helpful in letting you see what stats Pokemon has and seeing if it's beneficial to breed with that Pokemon. So to get the IV checker, you'll go into the battle tower, you'll come over here and talk to this lady and do 6 battles. On the 6th battle, you will battle the champion Leon, and then after defeating him, he will give you the IV checker. Simple as that. Next up is a very, very important item. And you have to go over to, I can't even remember the town's names in this game. That's the sad part. Turffield. Go to Turffield. And this item is the Everstone. You can get them off other Pokemon like Rolycoly in the wild. They're super common item. It's not a big deal. You're going to come right over here. And over here there should be a shiny on the ground. Pick it up. That is the Everstone. And what an Everstone does is when you leave it on a parent. So for example, let's say we're breeding with this Ditto. And we like the Ditto's nature careful, and we want to pass down the careful nature to the offspring Pokemon that we're trying to breed. We would leave the Everstone on Ditto, so that way the careful nature would always pass on. Whatever Pokemon is holding the Everstone, that Pokemon's nature will pass on to the offspring. Next up is a Destiny Knot. So come over here to Hammerlock and go to the Pokemon Center. You're going to come talk to this lady, and you will get yourself a lovely Destiny Knot. And what a Destiny Knot does is pass down 5 of those IVs I was talking about earlier to the offspring. So let's say you have 2 perfect IV Pokemon, 2 Pokemon with 6 perfect IVs. In that situation, you would pass down 5 out of those 6 perfect IVs, and whichever IV did not pass on would have a chance to be a no good IV or a best IV. It goes from any range there. So that extra stat has a chance to become perfect or also be mediocre. There are both ends of the spectrum there, and it's just all up to chance. There are also the bracers and the bands that allow you to pass on individual stats. So, for example, the Power Anklet passes on the speed stat. So if you're trying to breed a Trick Room team, it would be beneficial to leave the Power Anklet on a parent with 0 speed. So that way you would pass on the 0 speed to the offspring for better chances at getting a good Trick Room Pokemon. Another thing to note about the Destiny Knot is if you are breeding with 2 Pokemon that don't have perfect IVs, So for example, if we're breeding with this Ditto here, and then we are also breeding with this Swoobat here. See, the Swoobat does not have the 6 perfect IVs. That would mean that whichever Pokemon holds the Destiny Knot would pass on 3 of its IVs and then 2 of the other parent's IVs. The final thing here isn't necessary for breeding Pokemon. It just makes it a lot more effective, a lot faster to do. It's really just a convenience factor, and that is a Pokemon with the ability Flame Body. This is just going to make it so you can hatch eggs more quickly. You have to have the Pokemon in your party. You don't have to have it at the lead of the party. You can have it anywhere in your party, but this will help you hatch eggs more quickly, and it's super nice. It's on Pokemon like Roly-Coly, Litwick, Centiskorch, Pokemon like that. So it's really nice to have just to hatch eggs a lot more quickly. So moving on, we're going to talk about where you can actually breed the Pokemon, and there are 2 locations in the game where you can do so. One of those locations is on Route 5, right here, the Pokemon Nursery, and the other location is here in the wild area. Neither of these locations has any different effect on the offspring of the Pokemon. You can go to either one. It's really just preference. I prefer the one in the wild area, but I go there all the time and I hatch shinies, so we're going to go to Route 5. Now, when it comes to actually breeding and picking parents, I'm always going to recommend a Ditto. That's just how it's going to be. Because Ditto can breed with every Pokemon, except for legendaries, obviously. So he is just a perfect candidate to breed with any Pokemon that you are trying to get for a competitive team or things like that. The best thing to do is get a 6 IV Ditto, like the one you see on screen here. People are giving them away left and right because they're using the Den exploits to farm them through the max raid battles. So it's really easy to get yourself a 6 IV Ditto, and they are just going to be super beneficial for breeding competitive Pokemon. So I definitely recommend having a Ditto. However, you can use Pokemon of the same egg group or just 2 of the same Pokemon for the same effect. So if you have, let's say, a 6 IV Scorbunny and you breed it with another 6 IV Scorbunny, you're going to have a 5 perfect IV Scorbunny. So I highly recommend a Ditto if you can get your hands on one. They are just super beneficial. They're going to make your life a lot easier. Another thing worth noting are Pokemon hidden abilities. If you are trying to breed Pokemon with hidden abilities, like my Appleton's Thick Fat here, you're going to have to know a couple of things. The first thing worth noting is that if you are breeding with 2 of the same Pokemon, one male and one female, obviously, the female has to have the hidden ability. Males cannot pass on a hidden ability unless they are breeding with a Ditto. So if you are breeding an Appleton and an Appleton together, you have to have the Thick Fat hidden ability on the female Pokemon for it to pass on to the offspring. Also, the chances of hatching an offspring Pokemon with the hidden ability is a 60% chance. So there are some chances that you're not even going to get the hidden ability right away, so you're going to have to keep breeding for it. The final thing is, if you're breeding with 2 Pokemon that don't have perfect IVs, what I recommend doing is as you hatch Pokemon, check their IVs and see if it's better than the one parent you're breeding with. So for example, if I was breeding with my perfect IV Ditto and this Swoobat here, and I was breeding Pokemon with better and better IVs, I would make sure to swap in the Pokemon with the better IVs, so chances are I would get even better offspring. That way, you're just constantly upgrading the Pokemon you're breeding with, so that way you will get a better and better chance at breeding Pokemon with better IVs. So then after you have everything decided, you have all the items and things that you need, you will simply drop the Pokemon you want to breed with off at the daycare. And then you're going to ride your bike around until she signals that she has an egg, and I will show you the signal for when she has an egg here. Shouldn't take too long for me to get an egg from this. I'll just keep riding around. There, see how she folded her arms? That is how you know she has an egg. So then you go, you take the egg from the worker, and then you continue the process until you get the Pokemon that you desire. But yeah, guys, that pretty much covers everything I have for this breeding guide. Like I said, we are not going to be covering the Masuda method in this video, breeding for shinies, because I have a video on that already on the channel, and like I said before, I will link it at the end of the video. Also, this video does not contain any information on egg moves. I will make a separate video for that, and that will go up either today or the following day. So whenever you're seeing this, that video is probably already up. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in learning how to breed Pokemon with egg moves, because there are a couple new methods of getting egg moves in this game, and it's actually really beneficial to know the information if you're breeding for specific competitive Pokemon. So I will have that video up very, very shortly after I have this video up, either the same day or the following day. So subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're interested in knowing when that video goes live. But like I said, that is all I have for you guys today. If you found this video to be helpful and entertaining, be sure to leave a like and smash that subscribe button for more videos like this in the future. Be sure to share the video with your friends. Let's grow this community here on the channel. Also, speaking of community, check out the channel Discord. We have a ton of people over there trading Pokemon and hanging out. It's a good time. Also, I've been streaming Pokemon on Twitch fairly regularly, so if you're interested in seeing shiny hunts, max raid, competitive battles, all that kind of stuff, check me out on Twitch. I am having a great time streaming Pokemon. It's a lot of fun, and I love engaging with the community. All my other social media should be on screen here at some point, so be sure to check me out there if you're interested in keeping up with the channel. But like I said, that is all I have for you guys today. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.